Hello guys, and welcome back to ESB eSports. I'm Timothy Earl, and today I've got another free pick video. This one's going to be a little bit different because we're going to be doing a IEM Katowice Day 1 Rapid Fire. I figured this would be the best way to do it. One video, 7 games. We'll jump into all of them because these are all best of ones. They're quick games, and it would have gone crazy if I decided to do 7 videos for the entire day. So we'll have a complete rundown of all the plays. But before we do that, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate all the support. We're completely upfront and honest. It's not been a good start, but tomorrow could easily turn around a lot of things. 7 and 15 start to the channel, down 8.63 units. Ready to try to get back up into the positive for some Counter-Strike. So let's go ahead and jump into it. These games start at 5 a.m. They are best of ones. That's why there's no totals. And we'll go ahead and jump into it. Ents and Pain will be going at it. These are the first times that we're seeing either of these two teams this year. The last games for these two teams, Ents, last game was 8 weeks ago versus Havu. Pain's last game was 6 weeks ago versus ATK. When I looked at these two sides, this Brazilian team, Pain is a Brazilian team. They look kind of scrappy because we look back at their last 6 games, obviously 7 games actually. Obviously, they're against NA opponents, but they're 6-1 in their last 7 games. Granted, these are all 6 and 7 weeks ago, but they're looking kind of nice right now. And then Ents, they're all games are about 8 weeks ago. We look at their last 7. And they're 6-1 in their last 7. Only loss was to Astralis. They've actually played some good teams. When it came to this one, I think this match is going to be a little bit closer than people think. I'll go ahead and take the dog. And normally, here's where you're going to see a lot of upsets, especially in the BO1s, because those are always very competitive. So I'm going to have a bunch of not upsets necessarily, but teams to cover spreads. We'll take Pain plus 5.5. So at least a 16-11 game. In order to cash that one. We'll go over to HIC versus Cloud9 for the next game. Another 5 a.m. game. There works in twos. 5 a.m., 6:10, 7:20, 8:30. Then they go from there. Cloud9, minus 7.5. And I look at this one. Cloud9 is going through a little bit of a roster move because they now have Buster, who played for Outsiders and Virtus Pro for a while. So they're trying to make their way in with them. This IHC team is one of the Asian qualifiers for this one. They're actually playing quite well at the moment. They've won 3 out of their last. They've won 3 straight, 4 out of their last 5. Cloud9 is always a dominant team. The last time they played was the Rio Major, so we haven't really seen them since then. But when it comes to this one, I think Cloud9 gets off to a slow start. Winning 16 to, that would have to be 16-8 in order to cover that. We're saying that AHC gets 9 rounds. I think they can get 9 rounds against a Cloud9 team that's trying to build in a new roster and work from there. First game of their year. Yeah, go ahead and give me a IHC to cover that spread. A team that I'm not high on is the Greyhounds, though. But they're going up against Spirit. Spirit's minus 6.5. With and I look at this one. Yeah, Greyhounds, they look fine right now. They've won 5 straight. It's against Australian competition. There's nothing over there. So when you look at them, their stats are going to be a little bit skewed because they're playing other Australian teams. Spirit's just on a different level. I think if you're going to have a game that's the biggest blowout tomorrow, which, by the way, I'm going over 7 out of the 8 games. I'm not going over the Furia one because Furia is minus 800 and there was no spread on it. So not touching that one. But Spirit could be one of the biggest blowouts of tomorrow. I expect them to win 16-5, 16-6. I'm not high on Greyhounds whatsoever. So Spirit minus the 6.5 for that game. NIP and MIBR, made in Brazil, going at it. We've seen NIP play a little bit already this year. We have not seen. Oh, we have seen MIBR. They've played 3 matches so far this year. They're 2-1 wins against Nouns, and then a loss to ATK. We've seen Ninjas play. They've played actually 4 matches, and they are 1-3. The only win was against Big, granted, they had to play Navi, and Astralis. And they're dealing with a replacement. Config's in, and Hampus is out for the time being. I think it's going to be a tough spot for them to try to cover a big spread like this. I'll go ahead and grab the Brazilians again. Turtle, he had a really good Rio Major, and then Henny's always a wild card. So I'll be interested to see what he goes with at the op position. I'll go ahead and take a shot with MIBR to cover the 5.5. We'll go to Sprout and OG in one of the closer spreads for tomorrow. OG is a 3.5, minus 3.5 with against Sprout 7:30 game, and this Sprout team looked solid for a while. Although recently they have not been playing all that well. They've played 4 games so far in 2023. They are 1-3 with losses to Partizan, Endpoint, and Eternal Fire. A win against Falcons. OG has played 5 matches with their only wins going against Liquid. They lost to FaZe twice and they lost to Astralis, so they couldn't qualify for the Blast Fall Finals. I think OG is the better team. I think they win at least 16-12, 16-11, 16-10, something in that range. The Sprout team looked good for a while. They just have not looked good lately, and I'm not really in any position to try to go and back them right now. So we'll go ahead and take OG minus the 3 and a hook. 2 games left. We get Fnatic and EG. This will be Fnatic's, I believe, first game of their season. Yeah, the last time they played was 10 weeks ago against Big, and that one was in the Elise Masters Expo. And they won that one 2-0. They're actually on a nice 5-game winning streak, but granted, all of those were 10 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 11 weeks, 11 weeks ago. So these are our first official matches of 2023 for them. Evil Geniuses has had a little bit of work. They won their first match of the year against Heroic, and then after that lost to Vitality, Heroic again, and then Complexity. We've seen EG go a little bit. We've seen them play a little bit, and that's going to be the big thing for me is I'm going to take EG to cover because they're a little bit more warmed up. They've played competition in Tier 1 already this year. When Fnatic, we really haven't seen them do that much. Plus, Fnatic, you got a new interesting lineup because you got, Mezzy and Crims. Crims has been there for a while. Fasher is in there now. Nikodas, Roge. This is a Fnatic team that I'm not entirely sure we're going to necessarily get out of them. I'll take EG to cover. Do I think they win? I think they have a shot. They're a live dog, but I'll just take them to cover for that game. Final game, and this one's actually the closest one of the opening rounds, and that is Big and Complexity. Big's a 2.5 round favorite, and when I looked at this one, Big hasn't looked good. Complexity hasn't looked good. Complexity's only win so far this year was against Evil Geniuses, which I'm not gonna overhype that one. And when we look at Big, their only win so far this year was Liquid, a 2-0 win against Liquid. They played G2, NiP, and Heroic though. So when it comes to, Complexity played in the same tournament. They played FaZe, Liquid, and Navi as well. I think Big's the better team. I'll take them to win. These two teams have played each other once, and that was back in the Blast Premier Spring groups, and it was a 16-10 game. So I'm not really too hyped up on them. And that was actually a while ago. Sorry, that one was that back Spring Groups 2022? Is that? I don't know. But they played one match against each other. I'm not hung up on it. I'm going to take Big minus the 2.5 to finish off the card. That is all of the games for the first run through day 1 of IEM Katowice. I hope this all helped you guys out. I hope we make some money tomorrow. And until next time, let's make some money. Let's cash some bets in Counter-Strike. Good luck, guys.